Ryan had traveled far from Earth, farther than he had ever imagined. His small starship glided through the soft glow of distant stars, approaching a planet that shimmered like a jewel in the darkness. This was Illyra, a world famous for its floating cities, bright gardens, and towers that seemed to touch the sky. As Ryan landed near the central city, he could feel the excitement in the air. It was a place alive with both technology and beauty, unlike anything he had seen before. Stepping out of his ship, Ryan took a deep breath. The air was clean, with a faint floral scent from the gardens surrounding the city. People moved gracefully along glowing pathways, their clothing shimmering in light fabrics that reflected the soft sun. Hovering platforms carried citizens above the streets, and machines worked quietly in harmony with nature. Ryan walked slowly, taking in every detail, his eyes wide with wonder. It was in one of the palace gardens that he saw her for the first time. A young woman walked among the flowers, her presence radiant and calm. Her hair caught the sunlight like liquid gold, and her eyes seemed to shine with curiosity. She moved with confidence, yet there was a gentle kindness in her steps. Ryan could hardly believe his eyes. "She's the most magnificent princess I've seen," he whispered to himself, almost without realizing it. At that moment, she turned her head toward him. Ryan froze. Their eyes met. The princess's smile was warm, not cold or distant like he had imagined royalty to be. It was a smile that made him feel welcome, as if she had known him for a long time. "Hello," she said, her voice soft and musical. Ryan found himself smiling back, slightly embarrassed. Hello. I'm Ryan. I come from Earth." "I am Myra," she replied. "It is rare to see humans here. Welcome to Illyra." Ryan bowed slightly, unsure of what to say next. He had read about the Illyran people, their achievements, and their culture, but nothing prepared him for meeting someone like Myra. She seemed both royal and approachable, regal yet curious about the world beyond her palace. "Are you visiting the city?" Myra asked, tilting her head slightly. "Yes," Ryan said. "I am exploring. I want to learn about Illyra, its history, and its people." Myra's eyes brightened. "Then you will see many wonders. But some of the best secrets are hidden. Not everything can be found on the main paths." Ryan's curiosity grew instantly. "Hidden secrets? I would love to see them." Myra laughed softly, a sound that blended perfectly with the gentle rustle of the garden. "Then you must follow me," she said, turning gracefully. Ryan hurried to keep up, feeling the thrill of an unexpected adventure. They walked along paths lined with glowing flowers, passing fountains that floated in the air and streams of water that sparkled under the sun. Birds with delicate, shining feathers flew overhead, singing soft notes. Ryan could hardly believe his eyes. Myra explained things as they walked: the names of plants, the meaning of ancient symbols, and the history of the floating towers. "You humans must have strange worlds," Myra said, her voice full of interest. "Do you have gardens like this?" Ryan shook his head. "Not like this. We have parks, but nothing that floats in the air or glows like this." Myra's smile widened. "Perhaps one day, you can show me your world. There is much I would like to learn about humans." As they reached a small bridge that arched over a sparkling pool, Ryan noticed the city beyond. The towers reflected light like crystals, and tiny ships moved silently between them. Myra paused and looked at the view. For a moment, she seemed lost in thought, distant but calm. "It is beautiful," Ryan said softly. "Yes," Myra replied. "Illyra has always been a place of dreams. But dreams are only alive when shared with others." Ryan nodded, feeling a connection he could not explain. He realized that this moment, this meeting with Myra, was the beginning of something important. Someone like her could teach him not just about Illyra, but about courage, kindness, and curiosity. As the sun began to dip below the floating towers, Casting long shadows over the city, Myra turned to Ryan. "Tomorrow, I will show you more. There are stories in the city that even most Elorans have never heard. If you are willing to explore, I will take you to them." Ryan felt a surge of excitement. "I would be honored." Myra nodded, her eyes shining in the evening light. "Then rest well tonight, Ryan. Tomorrow, your adventure truly begins." As Ryan returned to his ship for the night, he could not stop thinking about Myra. He knew this was more than a simple meeting. Something about her, about the city, and the possibilities ahead filled him with hope. The adventure he had dreamed of was only beginning, and he had already met someone who could change the way he saw the stars. The next morning, Ryan woke early, his excitement growing with the rising sun. Today was the day Princess Myra had promised to show him more of Elora's hidden wonders. As he stepped outside his small quarters, he saw the city alive with preparation. Colorful banners hung from floating towers, glowing softly in the morning light. The streets were being decorated with ribbons, lanterns, and holographic flowers that danced in the air. Ryan quickly made his way to the palace gardens, where Myra waited. She looked radiant in a flowing silver dress that reflected the sunlight. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she waved to him. "Good morning, Ryan," she said. "Are you ready for the festival?" "Yes," Ryan replied. "I've never seen anything like this." Myra smiled and took his hand lightly. "Then follow me." The festival begins with the parade of lights. They walked together along winding paths that led to a large plaza at the heart of the city. Hundreds of citizens had gathered, wearing bright clothes and carrying lanterns that glowed in soft colors. Floating platforms moved gracefully above the crowd, carrying musicians playing strange and beautiful instruments. The music filled the air, creating a sense of wonder that made Ryan stop in awe. "Every year," Myra explained, "we celebrate the unity of our people and the stars that guide us. The lights are a way to honor our past and dream of the future." Ryan nodded, feeling the meaning behind the celebration. As they moved through the crowd, children ran past, laughing, carrying small floating lanterns. Myra gently took one from a child and handed it to Ryan. "Make a wish," she said softly. Ryan held the lantern, thinking carefully. He thought of Earth, of the stars he had traveled past, and of this moment. Then he let the lantern float upward. It rose slowly, glowing brighter as it joined hundreds of others in the sky. Myra watched with him, her eyes reflecting the soft light. "Beautiful," she whispered. Next, they moved to the competition area. The festival included friendly games where people could test their skill and creativity. Myra encouraged Ryan to try a game called Sky Orb Challenge, where contestants guided glowing orbs through a twisting floating track using a combination of thought and motion. Ryan hesitated at first, but Myra's encouragement gave him courage. "You can do this," she said. "It is about focus and balance, not strength." He concentrated, guiding the orb carefully through the track. At first, it wobbled, but with steady hands and calm mind, Ryan managed to finish the course. The crowd cheered, and Myra clapped, laughing in delight. "You did it," she exclaimed. "I knew you could. You have a clever mind, Ryan." Ryan felt a warm pride. "I could not have done it without your encouragement." Myra smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Sometimes, the smallest push makes the biggest difference." After the games, Myra led Ryan to a quiet garden hidden behind a wall of floating trees. Here, the lights were softer, and the sounds of the festival faded into gentle whispers. Ryan could see holographic images projected in the air, showing stories of Elora's history, ancient explorers, inventions, and legends of courage and kindness. "Few people see this place," Myra explained. "It is a space for reflection and learning. I wanted you to see it." Ryan watched the images, fascinated. "Your world is incredible," he said. "You have such knowledge and beauty here." Myra looked at him with gentle curiosity. And yet, you come from a distant planet. Your world must also be filled with wonders. Ryan nodded. It is different, but we also have stories and discoveries that can inspire. Perhaps one day, I can show you some. The two walked side by side, sharing their dreams and ideas. Myra spoke of her desire to explore the stars, to learn about other worlds, and to bring people together through knowledge and friendship. Ryan felt a deep respect for her vision. As evening approached, the festival reached its final moment, the release of the star lanterns. Each person lit a lantern and let it float into the night sky. Thousands of glowing orbs drifted upward, forming a river of light that stretched toward the stars. Ryan held a lantern with Myra's hand resting lightly on his shoulder. Together, they let it go. Look at that, Myra said softly. Our dreams can rise as high as the stars. Ryan felt a warm sense of hope. He realized that meeting Myra had changed his journey. It was no longer just about exploration, it was about friendship, understanding, and discovering new ways to connect. As the lanterns floated higher, Ryan and Myra stood in silence, watching the sky glow with color and light. This moment would remain in his memory forever, a reminder that adventure and wonder often came from the people we meet and the bonds we form. The festival ended, but Ryan knew that his journey with Myra had only just begun. Tomorrow would bring new discoveries, new challenges, and new stories. And he could not wait to face them alongside the princess who had already shown him the magic of her world. The morning sun cast a golden glow over Illyria as Ryan made his way to the palace. Today, Myra had promised to show him places few visitors ever saw. The palace itself was a masterpiece, its towers rising high with walls of crystal and metal that reflected light in dazzling patterns. Hovering walkways connected different towers, and gardens floated above courtyards, held in place by unseen forces. Ryan felt a mixture of awe and excitement as Myra approached. She greeted him with a bright smile, her energy as warm as the sun above. "Welcome back, Ryan," she said. "Today, you will see the heart of our palace and learn some of its secrets." Ryan followed her through a grand gate, stepping into a hall filled with soft music and glowing walls. The floors reflected light in patterns that shifted like water. People moved quietly around them, carrying scrolls, tools, and devices that Ryan did not understand. Myra led him to a hidden staircase behind a large tapestry. "This way," she whispered. "Few come here, but I think you are ready." The staircase twisted and turned, finally opening into a library that stretched higher than Ryan could see. Shelves were stacked with ancient books, glowing tablets, and artifacts from Illyria's past. Myra moved between them with ease, her fingers brushing over spines as if she could feel the history in them. "These are the stories of Illyria," Myra explained. "Some are known to everyone, but others are secret. They contain knowledge of our people, discoveries of other worlds, and ideas we have not shared with outsiders." Ryan's eyes widened. "This is amazing. I have never seen anything like it." Myra smiled. "Knowledge is not just for keeping. It is for learning, for exploring, for creating new things." She picked up a glowing tablet and handed it to him. "Here, you can see the star maps our ancestors created. They chart the galaxies and planets we have studied." Ryan studied the maps carefully. Lines of light connected stars in patterns he had never seen. Names of planets and systems shimmered as he traced them with his finger. One map caught his attention, a small, uncharted galaxy filled with bright stars. "This one," he said, pointing. "It looks unexplored." Myra's eyes lit up. "It is. Few Illyrans have traveled there. It may hold new discoveries and challenges. I have always dreamed of going, but it requires courage and careful planning." Ryan felt a thrill. "Perhaps we could explore it together." Myra's smile widened. "I was hoping you would say that. But first, there is more you must see." She guided him to another room filled with devices that hummed and glowed. Some were machines for studying energy, others were instruments for understanding the environment of distant planets. Ryan touched a device that projected a three-dimensional star system in the air. He could see planets orbiting, moons spinning, and tiny lights moving as though alive. "These are our inventions," Myra explained. "We create tools to understand the universe, to find life, and to keep our people safe." Ryan marveled at the ingenuity. "Your people are incredible. You combine knowledge, creativity, and courage in ways I have never seen." Myra looked thoughtful. "We can do more, but we must work together. Sometimes, someone from another world brings ideas we have never imagined." Ryan felt a strong sense of purpose. He realized that his journey to Elora was not just about learning, it was about sharing, cooperating, and discovering new possibilities. After exploring the laboratories, Myra took him to a quiet balcony overlooking the floating gardens. Below them, streams of water glimmered in the sunlight, and small ships moved gracefully between towers. Myra leaned on the railing, her eyes focused on the horizon. "The galaxy is wide," she said softly. "And there are many mysteries waiting. I want to see them, and I want to see what humans like you can teach us." Ryan felt a surge of admiration. "I will do my best," he said. "I want to learn, but also to contribute. Together, we can discover so much." Myra turned to him with a serious expression. "There is a place few know about. It is hidden deep within our archives. There are records of ancient explorers, devices that can travel farther than any ship today, and knowledge that could change how we understand the universe. If you are ready, I will show you tomorrow." Ryan nodded eagerly. "I am ready. Show me everything." Myra smiled, her eyes bright with excitement. "Then rest tonight, Ryan. Tomorrow, your real journey begins. You will see wonders that even I have only imagined. And perhaps, together, we will write a new chapter for both our worlds." As Ryan left the palace to return to his quarters, he could not stop thinking about the discoveries that awaited him. Meeting Myra and seeing the secrets of Elora had opened his mind to possibilities he had never considered. He realized that adventure was not just about traveling to distant worlds, it was about understanding, learning, and finding courage in places both known and unknown. For the first time since leaving Earth, Ryan felt that he was exactly where he belonged. The stars above Elora were no longer distant points of light, they were destinations, invitations, and promises. And with Myra by his side, he knew that anything was possible. The morning of the mission arrived, and the palace was alive with energy. Ryan's heart raced as he prepared to leave with Myra. Today, they would board a starship that could travel faster than any vessel Ryan had ever seen. Its hull shimmered like polished silver, and its engines pulsed with a quiet, steady hum. Myra greeted him with her usual calm confidence. "Are you ready, Ryan?" she asked. "I am," he said. "I have never been more ready for anything." Together, they stepped aboard the ship. The interior was smooth and bright, filled with panels that glowed softly under their hands. Screens displayed star maps, planetary scans, and streams of data. Myra moved with ease, touching the panels and adjusting controls as if she had been trained for this moment her whole life. "Our goal is the uncharted galaxy we saw in the star maps," Myra explained. "We will study planets, search for life, and record anything that could help our people understand the universe." Ryan nodded, fascinated by the technology surrounding him. "How long will it take to reach the first planet?" "Not long," Myra said. "The ship can travel faster than light. But the journey will test us. You must stay alert and ready for anything." As the engines roared to life, the ship lifted from the palace courtyard and soared into the sky. The city of Elora shrank beneath them, a sparkling jewel among the stars. Ryan watched in awe as the floating towers became tiny points of light, and the gardens disappeared into the distance. The first challenge came sooner than expected. As they entered a region of space filled with asteroid fields, the ship shuddered. Ryan instinctively gripped a handle as Myra calmly adjusted the controls, guiding the vessel through the twisting rocks. "Stay focused," she said. "The path is narrow, but we can do it." Ryan concentrated, following her instructions carefully. Together, they weaved through the moving asteroids, avoiding collisions with precise maneuvers. His confidence grew with each successful turn. "You are a quick learner," Myra said, smiling. "I can see why humans are admired for their adaptability." Ryan laughed, feeling proud. "I just follow your lead." After the asteroid field, they entered a quiet region of space, calm and empty. The stars stretched endlessly around them, glowing like diamonds. Ryan leaned against the console, taking a deep breath. "This is incredible," he said. "I never imagined traveling like this." Myra nodded. "The universe is vast, full of wonders. But it can also be dangerous. That is why we must be careful, plan ahead, and trust each other." As the days passed, Ryan and Myra faced more challenges. They encountered planets with strong gravity that tested the ship's engines. Strange energy storms forced them to navigate carefully to avoid damage. Each obstacle required teamwork, clever thinking, and courage. Ryan learned quickly, understanding the ship's systems and Myra's strategies. He began to see the stars not just as distant points of light, but as destinations filled with opportunities for discovery. Myra, in turn, appreciated his insights, noting how his perspective as a human added new ideas to her plans. One evening, as they approached a planet with glowing blue oceans, Myra called Ryan to the observation deck. The planet's surface shimmered under a distant sun, with mountains that sparkled and forests that seemed to glow. "This planet is remarkable," Myra said softly. "We will study it carefully. There may be life here, or resources that could help Elora and Earth alike." Ryan felt a surge of excitement. "I can't wait to explore it." Myra smiled. "Tomorrow, we will land. But tonight, enjoy the view. Remember, every star we see is a possibility, every planet a story waiting to be discovered." Ryan looked out at the endless sky, feeling a deep connection to the universe. Traveling alongside Myra had already taught him courage, patience, and the power of teamwork. He realized that exploration was not just about reaching new worlds, it was about learning, growing, and discovering what humans and Elorans could achieve together. As they floated above the glowing planet, Ryan knew that their journey was just beginning. Challenges would come, but he felt ready to face them. With Myra's guidance and his own determination, he believed they could uncover the secrets of the stars and bring knowledge and hope to both their worlds. The ship sailed through the night, carrying its explorers toward a future full of promise. The adventure had begun, and Ryan felt certain that this mission would change him forever. The starship descended through the blue atmosphere of the unknown planet, its engines humming softly. Below them, vast forests glimmered under the sunlight, and rivers sparkled with a strange, crystal-like clarity. Ryan pressed his face to the observation window, amazed at the beauty surrounding them. "This planet is incredible," he said. "I have never seen anything like it." Myra nodded, her eyes shining with excitement. "And we may not be the first to arrive, but I think we will be the first to truly understand it." As the ship landed on a smooth plateau near a glowing river, they prepared to step outside. Myra adjusted her exploration suit, and Ryan followed suit, feeling both nervous and thrilled. He had trained for this, but seeing an entirely new world up close was different from any simulation. The air was breathable, though fresh and sweet. Strange flowers with translucent petals glowed faintly, and creatures with shimmering wings flitted among them. Ryan bent down to examine a plant that looked like a crystal tree. Its surface reflected colors in patterns he had never seen before. "These plants seem to store light," Ryan said. "They might have energy we can study." Myra smiled. Everything here has a purpose. Observe carefully, and we will learn. They moved cautiously through the forest, their footsteps quiet on the soft ground. Suddenly, a group of creatures appeared. They were tall, slender, and glowing faintly. Their eyes were large and gentle, and their movements slow and graceful. Ryan held his breath, unsure whether they were dangerous. Myra stepped forward and raised her hands in a peaceful gesture. "Do not be afraid," she whispered to the creatures. To Ryan's surprise, the creatures did not attack. Instead, they tilted their heads and made soft musical sounds. Myra listened closely, then mimicked their tones. Slowly, she began to communicate with them, using gestures and sound. Ryan watched in awe as the alien beings responded, moving closer and showing no signs of hostility. "They are intelligent," Myra said. "They are curious, like us. We can learn from them, and they can learn from us." Ryan recorded every detail, careful not to disturb the creatures. He realized that these beings were connected to the planet in ways humans could hardly understand. Their energy seemed tied to the glowing rivers and forests. Every movement, every sound, had a purpose. As they explored further, they found structures hidden among the trees, ancient ruins with symbols engraved on glowing stones. Myra ran her fingers over the carvings. "These are signs of a civilization long gone," she said. "They studied the stars and the energy of their world. If we can understand their knowledge, it could change how we see the universe." Ryan felt a thrill of discovery. "We have to record everything. This could help both Elora and Earth." Myra nodded. "Yes. But we must also respect this world and its creatures. Knowledge comes with responsibility." They spent the day mapping the area, studying plants, observing creatures, and photographing the ruins. Ryan noticed that the energy of the planet seemed alive. Streams of light moved through the forests, connecting trees and stones, almost like a network. He realized that this planet had secrets humans had never imagined. As night fell, the sky glowed with two moons and distant stars. The creatures gathered near the river, their glow reflecting on the water. Myra and Ryan stood quietly, watching them. "This world is full of life," Myra said softly. "Not just the creatures, but the energy itself. Everything here is connected. It teaches us that understanding comes from careful observation and respect." Ryan nodded, feeling humbled. "I never thought I would see anything like this. It makes me realize how small we are, but also how much we can learn." Myra smiled at him. "And that is why exploration is important. Humans and Elorans together can uncover wonders that neither of us could alone. We can share knowledge, respect life, and grow wiser." As they returned to the ship, Ryan felt a deep sense of purpose. This mission was more than science or adventure. It was a chance to connect, to discover, and to understand worlds beyond their own. He realized that every challenge they faced, every new life form they met, would teach them something valuable. Before sleeping, Ryan looked out at the glowing forests one last time. He knew that tomorrow would bring more discoveries, more challenges, and more lessons. With Myra by his side, he felt ready to explore anything, to learn from everything, and to protect the wonders of this incredible planet. This alien world had already shown them its beauty and mystery. And Ryan understood that their journey was only beginning. The sun rose over the alien planet, casting a soft glow on the glowing forests and crystal rivers. Ryan and Myra prepared for another day of exploration. The discoveries from yesterday had filled them with excitement and curiosity. They planned to study the ruins further and examine the planet's energy network in detail. As they walked through the forest, Ryan noticed something unusual. Small ships were appearing on their scanners, fast, sleek vessels moving toward their location. "Myra," he said quietly, "we have company. And I don't think they are here to learn peacefully." Myra's expression turned serious. "I expected challenges, but we must stay calm. Let's observe them first before reacting." From a distance, Ryan and Myra could see the ships landing. Figures emerged, their movements precise and purposeful. They were rival explorers from another system, known for claiming new discoveries for themselves rather than sharing knowledge. Ryan felt a rush of tension. He had never faced such a situation, but Myra's calm presence gave him courage. "They want the ruins and the energy crystals," Myra whispered. "We cannot let them take what belongs to this planet. But we must be smart, not reckless." Ryan nodded. "What should we do?" Myra led him through a hidden path among the glowing trees. "We will use the terrain and the energy network to our advantage. This planet knows us, and it will help those who respect it." As the rival explorers approached the ruins, Myra signaled Ryan to set up observation devices. Using the ship's scanners and portable sensors, they monitored every movement of the intruders. The rivals were strong and well prepared, but they lacked knowledge of the planet's energy system. Ryan felt a thrill of determination. "We can outsmart them," he said. "We know the planet. They do not." Myra smiled. "Exactly. Intelligence and understanding are more powerful than brute force." The first confrontation came when the rivals tried to take a glowing crystal from the ruins. Ryan quickly activated a device that created a light barrier, blocking their access. The rivals looked confused, unable to understand how the barrier appeared. Myra moved closer, projecting calm energy from herself. The rival explorers paused, sensing her presence and the connection she had with the planet. Ryan realized that Myra's bond with the world gave them an advantage beyond technology. Using careful strategy, they led the rivals on a chase through the forest, guiding them toward natural obstacles. Floating plants shifted slightly, streams of glowing water changed direction, and rocks formed barriers, all influenced subtly by Myra's energy. The rivals struggled to navigate, showing frustration and impatience. Ryan felt a sense of teamwork and pride. He adjusted sensors and guided Myra through the best paths. "We are working perfectly together," he whispered. "Yes," Myra replied. "This is the true power of cooperation. Humans and Elorans, together, can face any challenge." Finally, the rivals realized they could not overcome the natural defenses and Myra's clever tactics. Frustrated, they retreated to their ships and lifted off, disappearing into the sky. Ryan and Myra watched silently as the intruders left, relief washing over them. "That was close," Ryan said, catching his breath. "I never thought exploration could be so dangerous." Myra nodded. "Every discovery has its risks. But courage, intelligence, and respect for life will always guide us safely." Ryan looked around at the ruins and the glowing forests. Despite the danger, he felt inspired. They had protected the planet and its secrets without harming anyone. They had worked together, combining human skill and Eloran wisdom, and succeeded. Myra turned to him, her eyes softening. "You have learned quickly, Ryan. You faced fear and acted wisely. That is what makes a true explorer." Ryan smiled, feeling proud and confident. "I have you to thank. You taught me to see the world differently, to understand it before acting." Myra nodded. "And you remind me that humans bring courage and creativity that can change everything. Together, we can do more than either of us could alone." As evening fell, they returned to their ship. The alien sky glowed with the light of two moons, reflecting off the rivers and forests. The planet seemed calm, as if acknowledging their respect and bravery. Ryan felt a deep sense of connection. He realized that exploration was not only about discovering new worlds but about protecting them, learning from them, and facing challenges with intelligence and heart. "This planet has so much to teach us," Myra said softly. "And we must continue our journey. There are more discoveries, more mysteries, and more opportunities to understand the universe." Ryan nodded. "I am ready. Whatever comes next, I will face it with you." The night settled over the glowing forests. Ryan and Myra prepared for rest, knowing that tomorrow would bring new adventures and new lessons. They had faced danger and succeeded, and their bond had grown stronger. Together, they were ready for whatever challenges the stars could bring. The starship glided smoothly back toward Elora, its engines humming a steady rhythm. Ryan watched the glowing planet shrink behind them, feeling a mixture of pride and wonder. They had discovered incredible life forms, studied ancient ruins, and faced challenges that tested both courage and intelligence. Most importantly, they had learned the value of teamwork, respect, and understanding. Myra sat beside him, her eyes reflecting the stars outside the window. "Ryan, our journey has been remarkable," she said softly. "Not just for the discoveries, but for the lessons we have learned." Ryan nodded. "I have learned more than I could have imagined. And I could not have done it without you, Myra. You taught me to see the world in a different way, to understand it before acting." Myra smiled. "And you reminded me that humans bring creativity, courage, and curiosity that can change the world. Together, we can achieve so much more than alone." As the ship entered Elora's atmosphere, the city sparkled beneath them. The floating towers reflected the sunlight, and the gardens glowed softly. Citizens gathered along the streets and on hovering platforms, watching the ship return. Word of their discoveries had spread, and anticipation filled the air. When the ship landed near the palace courtyard, Myra and Ryan stepped out to applause and cheers. Elorans from all walks of life came forward, their faces bright with admiration. Myra's parents, the king and queen, greeted them with pride and warmth. "You have brought honor to our people," the king said. "And your discoveries will help us understand the universe in ways we could only imagine." Ryan felt a mixture of humility and joy. He had traveled far from Earth and now stood among a people who had welcomed him, guided him, and shared their knowledge. He realized that exploration was more than reaching new worlds. It was about connection, understanding, and leaving a positive mark wherever you go. Myra led Ryan to a quiet balcony overlooking the city. Below, the citizens celebrated, and the rivers and gardens sparkled like jewels. "Our mission has changed many things," she said softly. "Not only have we learned about this planet, but we have also shown that cooperation between humans and Elorans can create incredible results." Ryan nodded. "I feel like we have only just begun. There is so much more to explore, so much more to learn." Myra smiled. "And we will, together. The universe is full of mysteries, but with courage, respect, and curiosity, we can uncover them." The following days were filled with meetings, presentations, and preparations to study and preserve the discoveries they had made. Ryan shared his observations with Eloran scientists, who were eager to learn about the alien life forms, energy systems, and ancient structures. Myra worked tirelessly to organize expeditions, ensuring that knowledge would be shared responsibly and safely. One evening, after a long day of work, Myra and Ryan returned to the palace gardens. The soft glow of the floating lanterns reflected in the streams, and the city lights sparkled like stars on the ground. "Do you remember our first meeting here?" Myra asked, smiling. "You said I was magnificent, and I turned to look at you." Ryan laughed softly. "Yes. I never imagined it would lead to all this discoveries, adventures, and friendship." Myra's eyes shone. "It shows that even the smallest moments can lead to great journeys. Every choice, every step, has the power to change the future." Ryan looked at her, feeling a deep respect and admiration. "I am grateful for this journey and for your guidance. You have shown me what it means to be brave, thoughtful, and wise." Myra nodded. "And you have shown me that courage and curiosity can inspire hope and achievement. Together, we have proven that humans and Elorans can face any challenge and learn from each other." As night settled over the palace, the stars reflected in the floating gardens and streams. Ryan felt a sense of peace and purpose. Their journey had begun with a simple encounter, a glance across the palace gardens, and had grown into an adventure that changed both their worlds. The mission had brought knowledge, respect, and friendship. It had shown that exploration was more than reaching new planets, it was about learning, protecting, and inspiring. Ryan knew that the discoveries they had made would benefit generations to come, and the bond between Earth and Illyria would continue to grow stronger. As they stood side by side, looking at the glowing city and the starry sky beyond, Ryan realized that the universe was full of endless possibilities. With courage, curiosity, and cooperation, humans and Illyrians could explore the stars, discover wonders, and create a future filled with hope and achievement. Their adventure had ended for now, but the legacy of their journey would shine forever, just like the stars above Illyria.